Hello and welcome back to the channel. So today I want to talk to you guys about the Dan Brown series that involves Robert Langdon. Basically it's just been announced that he will be releasing a new Robert Langdon book this year. It comes out on the 9th of September, which I'm really looking forward to. I think it's the first Robert Langdon book that would have released since 2017. I think that's when Origins come out. It's going to be called The Secrets of Secrets, and critics have described it as a pro-Pacific, I don't know what that word says, twisted, thought-provoking masterpiece. So this particular book is going to be set in Prague, and it will see Robert Langdon must pit his wits against forces unknown to recover the woman he loves. So I am really looking forward to this book coming out in September. So why am I so drawn to Dan Brown's Robert Langdon series? Well, the first one is I actually saw the film first before I actually read the book. So whenever I read the book, obviously I think of Tom Hanks as Robert Langdon, so I find it easier to visualise in my head, and they are very good books. And I love the character of Robert Langdon because he's not your normal sort of thriller character. He is a very intelligent man. Yes, there is some action in it, but he uses his brain rather than his brawn. So he's not like a James Bond or anything like that. He uses his wit. And also I love the fact that the stories do have a historical idea behind it, and that he doesn't always just fight his way out of situations. He has to use his intelligence for it. I learn a bit of history, so these books are historical fiction, I would say, and a thriller all in one, which is great, and that's probably why I love them. So let's run down which books you should read first, and what order really you should read Dan Brown's books in. So there are currently 5 Dan Brown books, and the first book he actually released was Angels and Demons. So yes, I know the Da Vinci Code film came out first before the Angels and Demons film came out, but actually Angels and Demons was the first book that he wrote. And this one is set in the Vatican City. Basically, I'll read you what the bit on the back, what's it called, blur, says. Robert Langdon, with the help of scientist Victoria Vetra, races against time to prevent the Illuminati from detonating a canister of antimatter in Vatican City, following a series of clues and ancient symbols to find the device and rescued kidnapped cardinals. Now, you've probably all seen the film. This is a fantastic book to read, and I really did enjoy this book. A bit later on, I am going to rank what I thought is the best book out of all 5 of these. So yeah, you see where this one sits on my ranking. Now, everyone knows the Da Vinci Code. It was obviously the first film that was released, but it was actually the second book that was released. It was released in 2003. The setting is in, of course, Paris, and it follows Robert as he investigates a murder at the Louvre, and he needs to uncover the secret of a society and a controversial theory about Jesus and Mary Magdalene. This does go down the road of looking at the Holy Grail. It was a fantastic read. It was a book that I just could not put down. Again, I'll talk to you a bit more about this book in a moment, about how I thought about it. But yeah, so that's the second book you should read in the Dan Brown series. Next is, and I don't think they made a film about this one, but I do think there is a TV series which I have not seen, and that is The Lost Symbol, which came out in 2009. This book is set in Washington DC, and it sees Robert summoned to a lecture by one of his friends in the US Capitol to find himself embroidered in a mystery involving a disturbing object and the kidnapping of his mentor, Peter Solomon. And this book is actually based around Freemasons as well, so it is good to read for that. but you wouldn't really want to be one of Robert Langdon's friends because his friends are always kidnapped or murdered. So yeah, so after The Lost Symbol we're going into Inferno, which again has been made into a film with Tom Hanks, and this came out in 2013. It's set in Florence, Italy, and basically Robert has to find himself racing against time to unravel a series of clues based on Dante's Inferno, in order to stop a deadly global pandemic. Again, this is a fantastic book. Then finally, currently we are on Origins, which again was released in 2017, and this one's based in Spain and Barcelona, mainly Barcelona. It basically debates science and religion and the question of the human origin and its ending. It looks at opposite beliefs between science and religion. It's more, I found this one more technology based and not so much more historical facts. I think this one has had more about Lord Byron's poem. I think this one involves. So okay, let's get down to the ranking. So actually my least favourite book is Origins. I just didn't see that there was much history involved in it, or looking for symbols. I did not like the AI side of this book, and it wasn't as fast paced as the other four, so it was just really just the least book. It's still a good read, it's just the least book that I enjoyed. Coming in at number 4 is The Lost Symbol, mainly because I did not like the ending. It was a very disappointing ending. I'm not going to tell you what happens because I don't want to go spoilers away, but up until that point it was a really good book, and I did love learning about the Freemason side of things in that book. Number 3, now this could be controversial, is Angels and Demons, and that's simply because I actually preferred the film to reading the book, and that is literally the only reason that it is number 3 and why this book comes above it, and that is, of course, Inferno. This book I could not put down. I loved learning about Dante, and it's made me really want to read the Divine Comedy. Yeah, it's just a book. It was so much more fast paced, I found, than Angels and Demons, and I just preferred it, if I'm honest. So unsurprisingly it had to be in first place, The Da Vinci Code. We've all seen the film, we all are going to say Tom Hanks made that film, and he did, and I just can't picture anyone else as Robert Langdon now. This is a book that I would recommend to anyone that is in a reading slum. So, and it was the first Dan Brown book that I actually read, because I didn't read these books in order. I can still remember where I was. I was sat on a beach in Thailand, and I was so invested in this book that I actually burnt the tops of my feet. So yeah, and this book's just a page turner, and it's so fast paced that I just needed to know what happens, and it, like I said, it's a book I would recommend to anyone that's in a reading slum, and personally it's a book that I would start with in Dan Brown's reading. So yeah, so there we have it, me talking about Dan Brown, some of my favourite books as well. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please like and subscribe, I'd really appreciate it, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye!